Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast. I'm Rose, and I'm a content creator going by the handle Cheap Lazy Vegan, and I also own a vegan cafe by the same name as the podcast, which is SaVeg Cafe.
And I'm Daniel, also a vegan, and one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends currently living in different countries, and we'll be giving our savage take on all things life, veganism, and the latest trending topics.
So basically, whatever comes to our minds, because we love to talk.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Aloha, everyone.
Hello. To our listeners, Rose is repping a very beautiful hat right now.
Yes, I'm wearing a hat that I got in where, Daniel?
I think a little place called Hawaii.
Yes. So I got this hat in Hawaii, and it says Aloha. For those of you people that are watching the video, you'll see this.
Yeah. Do you know that actually in Hawaii, apparently, Aloha means hello and goodbye?
Yes, I do know that, Daniel, actually. Have you been, Daniel?
I haven't actually been yet. I need to go.
It is so nice.
But I was thinking about this. You know, if you're saying aloha all the time and you're on the phone, how do you know whenever to say goodbye? Because you're like, aloha, hello, aloha. Start the conversation
Nice
again.
joke that you stole from Miss Congeniality, Daniel.
It is. Oh, my God.
You little joke stealer.
I love that film.
Oh, my God. I've watched that film so many times.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Anyways, we actually tried to record this before and we're having some technical issues. And I was just telling Daniel that people used to always ask me if I was from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yes. Do I look like I'm from Hawaii?
Well, to be honest, and this might sound a little like bad, but I just don't know what a typical person from Hawaii looks like, to be honest.
They do look like Asian.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like slightly darker. They kind of like, I think there's a lot of, actually, I'm not sure if Hawaii natives I don't know what Hawaii natives are supposed to look like. Yeah. But a lot of them are kind of like Filipino looking. And I think a lot of people are Filipino or Japanese.
Okay. Yeah.
I have no idea.
So basically, after
when I was
holiday,
there, a lot of people look, yes.
When you're dark as hell and you've been on holiday.
Yes, I look very Hawaiian. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes. I mean, I don't mind. I think I take it as a compliment. It looks exotic, you know?
Exactly. Well,
exotic.
True. Speaking of exotic looks, a funny story recently that happened to me on an app that some people may know called Tinder. I was chatting with this guy, and this guy just randomly messaged me, and he was like, he just said Korean. Like he didn't even he just said Korean. And then I was like, what? And then he's like, I'm guessing you're mixed Korean. And I was like, good guess, but like I'm 100% white. So, I like I like that people think it though, like, because it makes me look exotic, but like, I don't see it.
So many people say that Daniel looks half Asian, and I have never been able to see it. But I mean, again, it is probably a compliment.
Exactly.
Because most people say that half Asians or halfers in general are better looking.
This is very true. So I'm gonna take that and run. Take that little bit of.
Even though you're a white boy,
I'm about as white as they come.
Hell.
Yeah.
All the way from Yorkshire.
Oh my god, that is so funny. That's true. Like really a white place in
the whitest place of all.
Well, yeah, it's pretty white.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, when you think real white person, it's probably like England. To me, England comes to mind. That's like the whitest place of all whiteness.
Yes, very. Oh god damn, Rose.
Oh god damn. Well, you also be from Mississippi.
I am. That'd be my roots.
Oh God. I don't think anyone else finds this funny, but anyway.
Yeah, probably not.
A bit of a pause there, Daniels.
Oh God damn. No, I said probably not,
Uh-huh. Well, okay, just letting you know, guys, if there's like a weird, awkward pause, it's not because we're weird and awkward. It's because we have connection issues.
And by we, Rose means me.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with your Spanish Wi-Fi, Daniel. Okay, but you're going to have to fix this Spanish Wi-Fi situation.
I know. Well, some days it's like perfect. And then other days
I know, some days it's
like,
fine.
Yeah, and then other days
but
it's
is
like...
there someone else at home with you right now?
What's that?
Like, is there someone else using your internet at the moment?
Maybe there is. Maybe that's what the issue is. Like, I don't know. There is definitely my roommate's home. So.
Oh my God. So they need to like get faster internet, essentially.
Yeah. Or I could just say when I'm recording the podcast and just say, please, can everyone just get off the internet for like that 1 hour?
That'd be kind of rude, but
true.
I mean, if they're nice, you could be like, do you mind?
Yeah.
But then also that is kind of rude. I mean, it's not rude. Yeah, true. But because it's like, what are they doing? You know?
Yeah, true. They could be watching a movie or something though.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't want to be rude. You know, we're very nice, accommodating people. Anyway, today, guys, this is like an impromptu episode. We are just recording because we wanted to talk about the Oscars.
Yes, very much so.
And the fact that my favorite movie of 2019 won the Oscar. Which one is that, Daniel?
Parasite. And it's funny because like I think we actually talked about this in another podcast because I think
we did.
Yeah, you were like, "Oh my God, Daniel, you have to watch this film." Blah blah blah. I never did.
Yes.
Until now.
I wasn't expecting you to.
I know. You were like, "You have to watch this film." Blah blah blah. And I do. The thing is, I do love like, I love movies in general. I just haven't. You know, I never got around to watching it. I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm actually. You know. Oh my God, what was I going to say? I'm excited that we're doing this like impromptu one because I think it's like,
I know.
You know, it's good. We're talking about the Oscars. It's happened recently and there's some pretty exciting and big things that happened there. So, and not to mention that Rose's favorite film won several awards.
Yes, several. 4, I believe. Yeah, it was nominated, 4. I believe, for 6 and it won 4. Yeah. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, we talked about this in one of the first episodes that we recorded because I was really excited when I first watched this film. And it's basically a film. It's called Parasite. It's a South Korean movie. And it's by a very famous South Korean director. His name is Bong Joon-ho. And he also directed Okja. He also directed Snowpiercer and a bunch of like other very famous films. But this film in particular was basically just so fucking popular. Mm-hmm. And it was still like I think it won the Cannes Award or whatever. The Cannes Award. Is it Cannes or Cannes?
I think it's Cannes.
Right? In French.
Yeah. Because I don't think they pronounced the ES. I can't remember.
Anyway. Either way, it won like a bunch of awards and it was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. It was nominated for Best Screenplay. It won that. It was nominated for Best Best Director. It won that. It was also nominated for Best Foreign Film or Best International Film. It won that.
International film, yeah.
And it also won Best Picture. And it is the first foreign language film to win Best Picture.
Yeah. Which I have to say, I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment. I think like that's phenomenal. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, you know, props to the director. I mean, I did watch the film just last night. So like, yeah, it's really, really good. I actually really enjoyed it as well. It's not what I expected at all.
Right?
It was just so, it was so interesting, which we'll get into in a minute. But like, also, I just think one thing, it's, in some ways, I think it's really amazing. And this is such a good accolade. But at the same time, like, and I don't know about you, but I have seen in my lifetime so many good like international foreign films that aren't in native English, but they're subtitled. And it kind of like hearing it, I'm happy, but then at the same time, I'm disappointed that in 92 years of the Oscars, that no other foreign language films have ever won Best Picture. I mean, to me, it's good that it seems like there's like maybe a wave of change going now and people are starting to acknowledge more international films. Yeah. But I just think it's pretty shocking that no international film up to this point has won that.
I know it's actually crazy. Like, and they always complained about, a lot of people have complained about the Oscars being like such like a white man show kind of. Yeah. And then I think that's why I think finally like things are starting to change a little bit. And I'm sure like how, like you said, 92 years was it?
Yeah. So it was the 92nd Oscars award.
Okay. So 92 years. I mean, if you think about it, cause this is it takes place in the States, which I mean, even 50 years ago was still, and it still is on a lot of levels, quite racist. So there's still a bit of racism going on in the United States of America. So, it's shocking, but it's also not shocking. But it is shocking that it has taken this long for a foreign language film to win. Yes.
I mean, it is, and to me, it just like, it does blow my mind because like, don't get me wrong, Hollywood makes some great films, right? But there is so many other fantastic films made by other countries that don't happen to be in English, but, you know, you can subtitle them. And, you know, like, it does shock me that, you know, it's great. On one hand, I'm like really happy and I'm like, this is amazing, especially for South Korea. Yeah. But then on the other hand, I'm like, why has no other international film that's not a native English language won ever Best Picture?
I mean, to be fair, I think like back even like 10 years ago when, I guess like just films were not as accessible. Like they weren't playing, you know, foreign films as much in, you know, theaters. And now I think because of Netflix and internet and just like, you know, the world is just becoming a little bit more, you know, intertwined. And because of that, I think finally we are seeing... Yes, and now finally, even the white boys in Alabama can go and watch a film in another country's language.
That's true, because if you think about it, like maybe like, oh god, like probably, well, actually, it was kind of when we were growing up. Like the only place that I really remember, if you could watch a foreign film, would be like at an independent theater or something. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be at like, you know, Cineplex Odeon or anything like that. It would be at this designated like kind of indie area
that nobody goes to.
Exactly.
Other than like people that are into film.
Exactly. So I can see why, and you're right, like with Netflix and with the internet and everything, it is becoming, well, and Netflix especially is becoming so much more accessible. Think of all the foreign language stuff that's on Netflix now, which I think is amazing. Because like,
I know,
you know, if you just think of like the English language films, like you kind of, I do feel like you narrow your like view of film, and also like, because if you take like, well, Parasite's such a good example, and we'll again go into it in a minute, but like take, obviously every country has its own cultures and customs and kind of like ways of thinking almost about approaching things. So it's so interesting to watch films from other countries to see their take on things, because a lot of the time they're so different than Hollywood films, and they really like make you think.
Yeah. That's why I love that. And the thing is, though, I don't know if you've heard, though. So I got really excited because Parasite won. And of course, because I'm Korean. So I have a sense of like pride in this, even though obviously I'm not the one that wrote this motherfucking film. But, you know, you feel represented when like finally, you're definitely. Like, wow, because I know that there are so many great Korean films. Of course, there's also a lot of crappy Korean films, just like any other film industry. But I've always loved Korean, you know, the way that Korean people express their artistic side through like film, or even with music now. K-pop is becoming very popular. And through like Korean, just, you know, Korean entertainment in general. And now we're finally starting to see a lot of that trickle into other countries. And what was I going to say? Oh, but the drama, I don't know, of course, you know, because it's the Oscars, there's always going to be some kind of drama. The drama was that some people were coming out and complaining that that Parasite won because, get this, Daniel, they were like, well, it was it won Best Foreign Film, so it won Best Foreign Language Film. So why is it also winning Best Picture? So people are complaining about this. And there was this one guy. Oh my God. Have you seen this? I need to show you this. This one guy, he was on YouTube and he kind of went viral because he was being annoying. And he like had like a huge rant. And I just want to play it so that we can have context in discussing this. And so you can hear my
definitely. Hold it up to the mic if you have it, just so I can hear it.
I will. Oh God, he was
and
so
then we can
annoying.
Obviously include it in the podcast as well.
Here it is. Let's see. Hold on. Okay.
You got to be shitting me, right? This has to be a joke. This absolutely has to be.
Can you hear it, Dan?
Yeah.
More important, because the more times people hit that like button, the better the picture. Can someone explain that to me? It isn't like, you know, the Oscars has, you know, Best Picture and Best United States Film, right? It's like we don't have two chances to win a movie, right? Like Joker, 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, Marriage Story, they didn't have two chances to win an Oscar. It was Best Picture and Best Picture only. It wasn't Best U.S. Film, Best Foreign Film, then Best Picture, right? But no, Parasite had the chance to win Best Foreign Film and Best Picture. So why, like, I don't get it. There's a reason why they made the Best Animated category. Because Beauty and the Beast was nominated for Best Picture, and then the Oscars decided we're going to make its own little category, which I'm okay with, to be honest with you. So why do we have Best Foreign Film, Yet these movies are then qualified to enter Best Picture. True, we can sit there and say, well, just because it's foreign doesn't mean it's the Best Picture. That's fine.
Oh my God, he's so annoying.
Everybody in the United States of the motherfucking America.
Oh God, he is really annoying.
How many people actually fucking seen Parasite? Can someone please raise your goddamn hand and tell me, for the love of Christ, how many fucking people in the United States of motherfucking America saw Parasite?
Okay. First of all,
oh my God.
So that's the one of the responses. I mean, to be fair, he's not I don't think he's in the majority of people complaining. But thoughts?
Oh my God. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, there's like no logic to his argument. It's just a stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the thing is at the Oscars and
like, you know, the crazy thing is he hasn't even seen Parasite.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's so stupid. Like, how can you like judge something until you've seen it? And then also, like, I'm sorry, but the Oscars has multiple award categories, and guess what? In the past, films have won multiple awards. So,
exactly.
Like, it's not like okay, you can win one award and no other ones. So if you just win this award, you can't win anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been like that. No one was complaining when, like, you know, I don't know, like Titanic or something else that was an American film won like so many like Academy Awards, Oscars, everything else. It was fine. So why? There's never been any rule in the Oscars that says, okay, a film can be nominated for several categories but can only win one.
Exactly.
Where's the freaking logic? And I'm really sorry, but like the film industry is so much bigger than just the United States of America.
United States of motherfucking America.
Exactly. So like, I just don't get it. Like, he's so stupid. How many people have seen Parasite? Well, clearly you haven't. Like, seriously. What are your thoughts on this, Rose?
When I watched, I mean, to be fair, like I did laugh because I think he's so crazy.
Yeah.
So it did kind of entertain me a little bit. But I feel like this is a kind of like example of like, I don't think he's like racist, but he kind of has that like ingrained, like, how do I say, like he's unconsciously a little bit racist because like you made a good point. There are so many different cases where films win multiple awards. They're nominated for multiple awards. This is not the first time a film has won in multiple categories.
Exactly.
And what about, like, he said something about like best animated picture. Yeah. So if a film won, here's the thing. If a film won best animated picture and best picture, no one would really complain.
Exactly.
Like, if it was a good film, nobody would complain. But because it's a foreign film in a Korean language, and, you know, a lot of people in the United States of America are not familiar with that kind of language in their big screen. So they don't want to see that winning an Oscar because, and then like, it's just crazy. And so if it was an animated film that won both categories, no one would say anything. No one would be like, oh, it was nominated for best animation, so it shouldn't be nominated for best picture. Best picture is best overall film. You shouldn't like take anything out of that.
Exactly. And like the thing is, well, and I think like you said before, like the good thing is I think he is the minority. And I know, like, for example, we do have a lot of American listeners on our podcast. So I know those people that are listening to the podcast are probably, you know, more open-minded and, you know, are actually, you know, really happy for South Korea.
Yeah.
Because I think, honestly, like we said before, 92 years, no international film has won that. So I think one, it's a milestone for South Korea, but then also I think it's kind of starting to pave the way for potentially other international films in the future to, you know, potentially, you know, win that award going forward. So I think it just kind of opens it up. And like you said, as the world is, you know, with technology and everything else, getting a smaller place, it's like it creates that kind of opportunity for other countries. So I think that's great, to be honest. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners would like echo that that sentiment, and that they're, you know, even though they're from America, they're not, you know, guy is a minority. So,
but like I have heard a lot of people were saying similar things, but I think also, what was it? The crazy thing is, if you're going to complain about a film being nominated for both categories for best foreign film and best picture, like why would, like, it would make more sense to be like, well, that film probably should be nominated for best foreign film or win best foreign film, because the whole point of having best foreign film was that those foreign films that usually wouldn't get recognized in that separate category. So I think a better argument would be it shouldn't be nominated for best foreign film, so that but no, that's not even an argument. You know what? this is all stupid.
It is. Exactly. Well, exactly. It's just like, you know what? It's stupid. And I think, and the way that I look at it, when I saw it, once you sent me all this, because I actually didn't know any of this until Rose told me. So, because I'd be living in my little bubble. But then when Rose told me all this, I was like looking and I was like, actually, this is like a really like, it's actually a proud moment for the Oscars. Do you know what I mean? Like this is something that should be, you know, people should be happy about that. And it's a really interesting, and I think I didn't watch the whole ceremony, but I watched like, you know, a few of the acceptance speeches and stuff. Yeah. And there's a lot of like really emotional, I'm sure there is every year, a lot of emotional people and stuff. But I thought it was a really like overall positive kind of Oscars moment. 'Cause like, another thing I noticed is apparently this was some other drama that was around. What was the director's name again for Parasite?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. So apparently when him and his all the people from the like the cast and everything went up, they were doing like acceptance speeches and stuff. And apparently they were like running over a little bit, and then the lights started to come down or something while they were in the middle of their like acceptance speeches. So like a bunch of the other actors that were there, like Tom Hanks and a few other people, were like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know, let these
really?
people. Yeah, and they were like, come on. And there was like a video clip of like Tom Hanks and a bunch of other people being like flagging them to like turn the lights back on.
What?
So they did, yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I thought that was really, because I think a lot of people were like they were really happy about that. Do you know what I mean? So you know.
Well, and here's the thing. I would understand, like, because what a lot of people are saying is, oh, it only won because of like woke culture. Like people just want to like, you know, basically what they're saying is it only won to like prove a point of, oh, letting an Asian film win kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know, when like, you know, when like companies hire like women just to like meet a quota or something. So like, that's what, and I'm like, no. If you've seen Parasite, you would not be saying that. It was definitely one of the best films of the year, if not the best film of the year, in my personal opinion. And a lot of other people that aren't Korean, I know I have a bias a little bit, but a lot of other people that are not Korean also said the same thing. So I would understand if it was some like shitty film that won an Oscar when it didn't deserve it. But like, I genuinely feel like it deserved every single award that it got.
No, 100%. I agree. And like, I think you're right. Like, it's not like it was like some kind of like, you know, sometimes those like cult classics that come around, like, do you remember, what was that film? Napoleon Dynamite, that everyone was like, oh my God, Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my God. I don't understand that kind of,
I know. And I watched it and I was like, that was like a cult classic. Like, it was just like people were following it. And that, if that won like Academy Awards, which I don't think it did, but if it did,
I hope it did not.
I know, I would be shocked. And so that for me would be like, okay, this is the woke culture or whatever else, but
or trying to be like, exactly,
trying to be indie and different and like whatever else. But no, I agree with you. Like, even with watching, because like obviously I don't speak Korean, so I just had to watch it with subtitles. But I still thought it was a really good movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it was like completely not what I expected. Like even from the beginning, it like the whole thing was just like, what is going on?
I know, you're just like, what is this movie? And like, that's what I love about it. It's so different from like traditional Hollywood films. Not to knock Hollywood films. Like I said, I still like Hollywood films, but sometimes like people need, you know what? People are probably just like tired of seeing the same kind of films.
But this is it. Like, like we were saying before, Hollywood has like, for most of their films, they have this kind of like formula that they keep spewing out this similar kind of stuff. And this is why I think it's so good to watch international films, to watch films that aren't in English but subtitled. And like, again, you're going to get like a different take on things. Do you know what I mean? A different take on love and different take on like, they're so interesting and so good. And, you know, they're just so different from like the blockbuster Hollywood films, which I still love them.
Did you watch any of the other films that were nominated for Best Picture?
I did not.
You haven't seen any of those other films?
I don't think. Hang on. Let me just look at the list.
Did you watch Joker? You didn't watch Joker?
I haven't seen Joker, no. I've been in a little bubble at the moment, okay?
Oh my God. Joker is really good too.
Yeah.
But the thing with Joker, here's the thing. I still believe that Parasite deserved to win over Joker, even though I loved both movies. I did love Joker as well. But Joker did win Best Actor. Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for Joker. And I think that was very well deserved, because the thing is, Joker, again, was a great film. And I think it was, I watched it twice. However, I don't think that compared to Parasite, like the storyline wasn't like, extremely innovative. And of course, I wasn't expecting it to be, but, you know, it wasn't some kind of crazy plot twist storyline or anything like that. And I think basically the actor Joaquin Phoenix like carried the film because it just basically was a very good performance by Joaquin Phoenix. And I think that's what really made Joker the movie that it is. So it did deserve, I believe that he did deserve to get
the Oscar.
That, the Best Actor award, which he did get. And did you watch the, oh my God, you need to watch the acceptance speech by Joaquin Phoenix.
I watched his acceptance speech.
Oh my God. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was really interesting. It was quite like, did his brother pass away or something? Is that why he got so emotional at the end? Because he was like, oh, my brother, like, I can't remember the exact line. He said like something about love. And then, you know, I can't remember the exact quote. His brother,
I'll tell you the story. So basically, Joaquin Phoenix's older brother, his name was River. And they were kind of like child actors. And like River Phoenix was in a movie called Stand By Me. I don't know if you remember that movie, but it was a really old kind of coming of age movie with like 4 boys. Do you remember? Yes. So he was in that movie, and I think he was quite popular, actually. He was quite famous. But unfortunately, when he was, I can't remember how old, maybe, I think Joaquin was maybe like 18 or something. And then River was maybe like 20 or something. Basically, he died of, I think, an overdose, like a cocaine overdose or something along those lines. So unfortunately, he was there. And Joaquin was there when his brother died. And Joaquin is quite known for not talking about it. Like he doesn't really talk about, you know, the brother and things like that. So it was kind of like a big deal that I think he like mentioned his brother. But he also talked about, you know, animal agriculture and all that stuff. Did you hear that?
I didn't watch. I must have like, because I was watching them on YouTube. It must have got like cut out versions. But I remember him like saying, he was just being like, you know, now more than ever, you know. And obviously this is a hint to veganism and everything. He was like, now more than ever, we can be the voices for the people for the voiceless, basically, meaning like animals and stuff, right? Yeah. So
yeah, he straight up called out the dairy industry. I didn't. Oh my God, it was amazing. I was like dying because he's kind of a weirdo, but I kind of love it. And like, he's so like he's just like so unapologetically not, how do I say, like he doesn't give a fuck. He'll go on that award show and like call people out. And instead of talking about himself, he just straight up was like, you know, we need to make some changes, blah, blah, blah. So when you get it here, let me see. Joaquin Phoenix's graphic Oscar speech sparks debate about animal welfare. So I know that he did this to spark this like discussion, which I love. So I'll read you a little line.
Yeah.
Because he's a very passionate animal rights activist. So, okay, let me read you a line from his speech.
Okay.
We go into the natural world and we plunder it for its resources. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow and steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. Then we take her milk that's intended for her calf and we put it in our coffee and our cereal. He said this in an Oscar speech.
Yeah.
And
this is crazy. I can't believe he said it in an Oscar speech. Like that's pretty amazing though.
I was like, this is like the best moment of my life. But and you know, of course, because he knew that like to use that opportunity to speak out, he knew it would get so much press and he knew so many people would hear it.
Of course.
So I could not believe my ears. And
it's
I was
so
like,
smart of him.
Yeah, I know. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Did you
yeah.
I was gonna say, did you also know a fun fact, kind of like separate to, not separate to Joaquin's speech a little bit, but I guess he's the second actor who's played the Joker who has won a Oscar.
Oh, really? Who was the first one?
Yeah, because I believe, yes, I believe Heath Ledger won.
Sorry.
No, I said I believe.
But after he died, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was after he died, I believe.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I mean, they were both fantastic.
Yeah, I really need to watch it. Like, I'm looking at the list now, and like the 2 films. So the one film, Marriage Story, I think it's on Netflix.
I watched that one too.
Yeah, I really need to watch it because did
you're
you like
gonna cry? Really? I did really like it. I don't think I did really like it. Again, performances were great. I think the actors were really, really great. Scarlett Johansson was great. The guy like was amazing. Like Adam Driver or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't say it's like. I don't think it would have won the Oscar for Best Picture, but it was a really good film.
Didn't somebody from it won Best Supporting Actress? I think.
Oh, it did. Yeah, what's her name?
Lauren Drew. I remember her from Jurassic Park.
Yes, she was good, but I'm still kind of. I don't know who else was nominated for Best Actress. To be honest, like I mean, or Best Supporting Actress. I'm not really sure. if I would have, I mean, she did do well. Like she did do well, but I don't know if it was an Oscar-worthy performance. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's just my personal take. But I did really enjoy her character in Marriage Story. And what else was? Oh, I also, I never really watched so many, movies. But this year was really good for movies, I think.
Yeah.
So there was Joker, there was Marriage Story. What else was there? Apparently, 1917 won a million awards.
1917's on the list as well. So I'll read you the list of them. So it was Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yes.
Marriage Story, and 1917.
Okay, so I watched Marriage Story, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
Oh, wow.
And I can honestly say that out of all those 4, Parasite deserved to win. I've seen quite a few.
Yeah, you have.
And I did try to watch Irishman and I fell asleep. I mean, I was, to be fair, I was very tired. So I'm not saying that it was a bad movie. I was just tired. And it's a very long ass movie. It's like 3 hours long, dude.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever, to be honest, fallen asleep in a movie because I'm like one of those weird people where like no matter how tired I am, I have to like see it to the end. Like I'm
even
like crazy.
Even if it's a bad film.
Well, I mean, if it's a bad film, I'll stop it.
Oh, but you've never like fallen asleep to a film?
No, I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm really like, I'm weird that way. I remember being like exhausted and I remember it was like my birthday going to like see Spider-Man 4 or something ridiculous. And I was so tired and I was like almost falling asleep in the film, but I still never fell asleep. So.
Oh my God, I can easily fall asleep in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, but there's also something very like great about falling asleep while watching a movie. I don't know. I feel like I just sleep really well when I fall asleep watching like TV or something, but maybe that's not right.
Well, yeah, don't you like sometimes play Friends to like fall asleep to?
Oh, all the time. That's like my lullaby.
See, I can't do that because like for me, like I'm a very good sleeper to be honest, but like
you're a very good sleeper.
Yeah, like super good. But like if I have a TV show on, like I'm gonna watch it. Like I need to like I can have background noise, it's fine. But if I have something like on like a video or like a TV show, like I find it really hard to sleep.
Really? Do you ever play like a show as background noise?
No.
Okay, so when you have a show on, you are watching it. You are fully attentive.
Generally, yes. I'm trying to think if there's ever a time like, because like, if I'm watching a show, I'll be watching it. Otherwise, I'll put like music on and I'll do something.
Oh, I see.
So I'll have like music on in the background.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting, Daniel. Well, I'm a big, well, the thing is, well, the reason why I play Friends when I'm falling asleep, which I kind of don't do anymore because I've done it so many times and at this point it's getting ridiculous. But because I've seen Friends so many times, each episode so many times, I'm just like, to me, I don't have to watch it because I've seen it so many times. You're not missing out. Exactly. So to me, it's like a nice little comforting, lullaby for me.
It's almost like having like those videos where it's like soothing music and stuff that you can watch on YouTube where it's like that, but for Friends. I mean, for Friends.
Well, now in order to fall asleep, because I'm old and my mind is constantly running, I listen to like a meditation, some kind of meditation video on YouTube or like a hypnosis. And it literally knocks me out, Daniel. You should try it. Well, although you don't have problems falling asleep.
No, I literally as long as there's no TV going or anything, I'll just turn everything off. I mean, I could have music going. That would be fine, like relaxing music. But I just like turn everything off, hit the pillow, and fall asleep within 2 minutes.
Oh my God. Seriously, that's a gift, Daniel. I know. That's a gift.
I hope it doesn't
not
go
for
away.
People sleeping around you because Daniel is a big snorer. Can I say that?
Oh my God, Rose. I'm cutting that out.
I just embarrassed you. No, you don't cut it out.
But what was I going to say? Oh, I totally lost. Oh, yeah. I hope I don't lose that when I get older, though. Because like I remember my parents saying to me, like, once they had kids, like me and my brother, like your sleep isn't the same. Like you don't, because you're worried. Well, not like you're subconsciously worried about your kids. So like if I ever adopt my Korean babies,
God damn,
I'm gonna be worried about them.
I know. Oh God. Okay. Anyway, Oscars. Shall we talk about it more? Is there anything else to discuss? Well, I mean, Parasite. It's hard to discuss the film because you don't want to spoil it for anybody, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we could put a disclaimer and say there's slight spoilers.
No, I don't think so. I think people need to just go and watch it. Basically, okay, here's what I'll say. It is a film that has a social commentary about inequalities.
Yes.
But it's done in a way that's funny. It's also sad. It's also scary. And it's just an amazing film with so many elements. And I think that's what I loved about it. It's like, that's like kind of like a big thing of his movies in general. I feel like there's always like, you feel like you're watching like 10 different movies sometimes. Cause it's like, first it's hilarious. Like, and then it's like really serious. And then it's like scary. And then it's sad. And
God, there were so many emotions in that movie. You're right. Because there was some parts where you're just like, oh my God, this is so funny. And then there'd be another part where I'd be like, oh God, like, this doesn't make me feel good at all. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like, I also feel like Okja was a bit like, he directed Okja, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that film was a bit like that as well. Cause there were some parts that were like really sad and scary, but then there was like moments of like happiness. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you're on a like roller coaster
emotional
ride.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. I mean, and even the title, like when you think of the title Parasite, and then it's like, there's so many meanings and ways that you could interpret that throughout the film. So like there's not, cause originally, okay. And this is just me just like thinking off the cuff. And this won't be a spoiler, don't worry. But like originally when I heard the word parasite, I was thinking it was going to be like I don't know, like some kind of, I was taking it literally, you know, like an infestation of some sort. or like an alien versus predator kind of like, I don't know what I was thinking, but like something along those lines. I didn't expect it to have like so many like levels, but also have that kind of, that whole backdrop of social inequality as well. Yeah. Which I really liked. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. There are so many layers to this film. And I remember when I first watched it, I was like so blown away. So afterwards I was like watching all these videos on YouTube that like analyzed it and all that stuff. And it was interesting the way that people, you know, analyze certain things. I'm like, wow, people are like really, you know, they're really good at this. I should watch some of those. Yeah, you should. And then I actually recently rewatched it. Well, I only had a chance to watch half, but I started seeing all of these things that I didn't really like see before. And now I'm like noticing these little subtle things that, you know, he adds in there, the director adds in to, you know, make it, you know, like have more meaning. And I'm just like, damn. No, I definitely need to rewatch it because I've only seen it once. Yeah. And I do feel like it's one of those films that like you watch it once, you're like, okay, that was a really good film. But I also think that it's like one of those films where there is just so many little pieces where I feel like if you don't watch it again, it's like there's probably so much stuff that I missed where if I go back, now that I've watched it once, I can like start trying to like pay attention. And I want to see some of the YouTube commentary of what they've analyzed. Because again, like I have my analytical view and what I saw from the film. But then also it's good to see kind of like what other people thought about it. And I think this is why the film is so deserving to win the Oscar because, you know, a film that provokes this much kind of thought and discussion and like is interesting on so many levels, like what, you know, it's fair for it to win the award, you know? Yeah. It's just it's very good. I really hope, well, now that it's won an Oscar, I feel like maybe it's going to be playing in a few different theaters, maybe. Yeah. It's going to be, you know, doing some more showings. At least I think it should do. And I think you can also watch it on YouTube for like a small fee or something like that. So I do recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it. It is a great film. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it. And it's awesome. Now I want to see all his films. Yeah. Maybe I've seen 3 or 4 now. Yeah, maybe that can be your new mission now is you can like look up all of his films and just start going through them slowly but surely. To be fair, he doesn't have a lot. So I could definitely go through, and they're all like big hitters basically. Yeah. So I'm excited. Well, now I've seen 2. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you've seen Okja. And now next, Daniel, I recommend watching Snowpiercer, which is also, I believe, on Netflix. Okay, well, I'll take a look. So... it might not be on my Netflix though, because I am in Spain at the moment. Oh, god damn, the Spanish laugh. Exactly, the Spanish laugh style. Oh my gosh. No, definitely like, and I also think, like you said, well, when a movie does get Oscar buzz,
and wins an Oscar as well, generally it does encourage people, like people get inspired to watch it. So like people that wouldn't have watched it before will be like, oh, what is this film that won like 4 Oscars? I should check it out. So hopefully there'll be like an uptick of people watching it as well, on whatever movie theaters or wherever you can watch it. I don't know. Like, and I mean, I guess it is available on YouTube for, a fee. So,
yes. Yeah. So what would you say, like, what are some of your favorite foreign films, if you can think of anything other than, you know, the Okja and the, the Parasite?
Other than those two. Oh, this is a hard one, Rose.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are so many good foreign films.
I'm trying to think of one.
I really loved, you know what I really loved? I loved Life is Beautiful. Have you seen that?
Life is Beautiful. I don't think so. What's it about? Like, give
La
me a brief.
vita è bella. It's basically, it's in Italian.
Yeah.
And it's kind of around, it's kind of about the Holocaust, but not really. Like it is. It's set in that time. And it's about a man, this Italian man that has a family, and he's Jewish. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Sorry.
And he has like a wife and a son, and basically they get sent to a concentration camp.
Oh God.
And him and his son, who's like 5 years old, are in the same, like, he basically like hid his son and like brought him to his own like bunk, like to his own little room or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it, but it's just a very good film because he constantly, the man tries to make his son feel okay about the whole situation by pretending that it's all a game, and, you know, just kind of, it's so good. I can't, you've never seen this.
No, I'm gonna have to
Daniel,
add that to my growing list of films. Yeah. Have you seen, I just thought of one now. Well, I thought of a few. So one that I really liked, and it was before that, because Hollywood made a remake of it.
They always do this and ruin the film. Why do they make a remake? There's another thing. They need to just show the fucking film for what it is. Continue.
So basically, there was a very famous, I can't remember the author's name, but he wrote the book. So you know the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yes.
Yeah. So originally it was a Swedish, I believe it was Swedish. So it's a trilogy, right? And Sweden did all 3 of the films, and they were so good. Like, honestly, so amazing. Like, honestly, the last film, it's like this whole story about this poor girl and all this stuff that she's been through. And the last film, like, in the trilogy, just like, even thinking about it, like, gives me chills. It was so good.
Really? Wait. So I think I actually did watch the Hollywood version of this. Is that the one where there's like a rape scene and stuff? Yeah.
It's pretty graphic. Yeah, there's definitely.
So it was pretty graphic. I do want to watch the Swedish version because I did hear that it was better. Obviously, it's the original.
It's so good. Even the actress, I mean, not knocking the actress that played the Hollywood version, but like, I do feel like, again, a Hollywood version, it never does foreign films justice. Like, I just feel like it takes it and obviously does its Hollywood spin on it. And, you know, puts really famous actors. I think Daniel Craig was in the remake and some other stuff.
He was.
And like, I don't know, it just takes away.
It just loses the appeal.
Exactly. So that's one. So there's the trilogy of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other one that I really, really liked, it was called Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So it's I think it's like Spanish or Mexican.
Ooh, okay.
And it's a pretty intense film because it's about this like child that's mother gets really, really sick. And I think the mother had remarried, or the dad is like really crazy. And it's during, again, like a wartime as well. And it's just, it's mythical as well. There's like some like mythical creatures that come in. I mean, it's really interesting. Like, yeah.
Really?
And it's amazing. It's such a good film. I would highly recommend it. There's so much, again, that's another film with a lot of layers because you have like this backdrop of war going on, and you have like this child that's like, I don't know. It's just amazing. It's so good. Yeah. Okay.
There's so many good films, and even not just with foreign language, but outside of Hollywood style films. Like that's why I love going, like, when it's, you know, like International Film Festival. Love that because they play films that otherwise would not get the spotlight. And I've seen so many great films because of like these, you know, indie films that are finally showing in these festivals.
Do they? And when Calgary does like an international film festival, is it generally the Plaza in Kensington that has like the films showing, or is it like other places as well?
So when Calgary does it, they played in a few different theaters. So they have one, they play a lot in Eau Claire, which is really? And they do the Plaza and I think there's a few other theaters, but usually it's Eau Claire and the Plaza and a few others. But what's funny is like Parasite was actually sold out before the film festival started. So it was already like generating a lot of, so that's the one film that we were actually really wanting to watch. Well, my mom wanted to watch it because she, you know, she knows all about Bong Joon-ho and unfortunately it sold out. So I actually watched it like, I think a few weeks after the film festival because they were re-showing it. And what other films do I can't think. Okay. Well, there's another Korean film.
Okay.
Have you watched this one? It's called Old Boy.
No.
It's another dark ass fuck film. Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
It's an old movie.
Yeah.
So again, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but basically I'll tell you the kind of premise. And I think Hollywood tried to do a remake of this as well, but again, it was kind of a fuck, you know, it was a fuck up basically.
It was a Hollywood remake. We'll leave it at that.
I don't know why. Well, I guess it's because so many people are so, they have like a, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't want to go there. Like they don't want to delve into the foreign film.
The darkness.
No, they just don't want to get into the, like maybe they just don't want to read subtitles, but I'm like, fuck.
I have heard a lot of people say the thing is, the one thing that I will say about subtitles, I don't mind it at all. I actually quite enjoy them, but I do have to be like fully focused and concentrated, right? So obviously if it's like an English language film, I can shut off for 2 seconds and not lose the plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a foreign language film, like any second, like even if I get like a text message that I look at or anything, it's like I have to pause the movie for sure because like I'll lose what's going on. So that's one. So
that's
I get
for
where
sure.
some people come from and they're like, oh, I don't like reading subtitles, but at the same time, like, if you have the option to...
Are you really that lazy?
Exactly. Well, like, exactly. And then also, like, I don't know about you, but have you ever had the, like, where it's a movie where it's like subtitle or dubbed and the dubbed versions are so bad?
I refuse to watch anything that's dubbed. If it's dubbed, there's no way I am watching it. Like, unless that is the only option.
Exactly.
Like, I cannot.
It's the worst.
It's so bad. But dubbed films, I just can't. It just sounds really awkward. And I'm like... And like, it just takes away the original like emotion. And like, sometimes the person that dubs, like whoever 100%. The actress or the dubbing people, their voices just don't match the character. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So the funny thing is about that. So, you know, Money Heist on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
So I've always watched the Spanish version with the subtitles. Like I always do, right? Yeah. And I don't know what happened. I can't remember if I was at somebody's house or like something. And we went into the Netflix and it went straight for the English version. Yeah. I didn't notice right away. Well, I did notice. And all of a sudden I was like, what is going on? And it like ruined it for me. I was like, I can't watch it like this because all of the actors, their voices were different than the original people. And like, I hated it. I was like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah, that's so funny because the exact same thing happened to me with the same show, Money Heist. Yeah. Because I was watching that, which by the way, guys, if you haven't seen Money Heist, you must watch it.
Oh, definitely watch it. 100%.
It's called La Casa de Papel. Am I saying it right, Daniel?
Rose, muy bien.
Oh, muy bien. So yeah, it's on Netflix. Anyways, it's a Spanish show. And I remember, I think it was like the second season. I can't remember. I started watching it in some other TV and it was like, it was initially, I was hearing English. I was like, I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? I was like, this is so weird. And the voice just did not match. And I'm just like, no. We need to stop. It was like so cringy almost. It was like,
Exactly. So for those of you listeners, I mean, because there's probably people out there that have just always gone for the dubbed version because they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, whatever. Honestly, try watching the subtitled versions because it just... the emotion, the characters, because it's the person's voice, right? It's that person's voice, which it means a lot to like... I don't know how to describe it, but it's like when they're exuding emotion and stuff, that transludes or language, right? Like you can get emotion from somebody without understanding what they're saying exactly. So I think it's like, it's so powerful. And then obviously you'll have the subtitles, so you understand what's going on. So like highly recommend it. So just try it once. I mean, if you hate it, whatever, that's
fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. But like,
I mean,
just give it a try.
Dubbing artists, dubbing people need jobs too, I guess. So
this is very true. And I don't, to be honest, the dubbing industry is never going away. I mean, that's not going to happen, but like,
yeah, I mean, there are people that, maybe they have trouble reading or,
exactly.
So fair enough, like I get it. Like I see why it's there and I see why, it should be there. But, if I had the choice, I would definitely not choose the dubbing.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. And plus, like you said, on one hand, it is a bad thing that, you always have to be concentrated on the screen. But on the other hand, it's a good thing that you have to be concentrated on the screen because we're constantly sometimes, I feel like we have very low attention spans. Yeah. We're always like looking at something else. We're always like, I'm always checking my phone when I'm watching TV or like sometimes I just like want to actually be present and actually be mindful of what I'm doing at that moment. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's a really good point. And I think also for especially some of the foreign films and foreign TV shows I've watched, that's so important. Like look at La Casa de Papel. Like that's a show that you need 100% attention. Like honestly, if you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. Honestly, like you will get gripped after the first episode. It's just like this show that draws you in and it's just so well done. Like it's just... It's one of the best TV shows I've seen in a while, to be honest. Like
it's so good.
Oh, I
think I still prefer Breaking Bad.
Oh, you are a Breaking Bad diehard.
I am a diehard Breaking Bad fan.
Yeah, honestly,
I just think it's such a good show.
It is. So Rose actually got me into Breaking Bad, and it was quite funny. Because we were living together and I hadn't watched it at this point. And Rose is like, you've never seen Breaking Bad. So we had one Christmas, literally a Breaking Bad marathon. And I kid you not, I think we spent 3 days in the house, not leaving our rooms, just watching episodes of Breaking Bad. Like we got through like 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh yeah. And we watched it together because I watched it for the second time. I think I watched it a total of almost, 3 times.
Yeah.
Like the whole season, like the entire thing.
I've watched it 3 times.
Oh my God. You?
Yeah, I've watched it 3 times now because it's so
See,
good.
You're also a diehard. It's such a good show.
It's just like, again, it's another show with so many, like the intricacies of the writing. There's like so many, it's just so well done. And I'm so glad that they didn't just like keep going on and on for seasons, like stretching it out. They it seemed like they had a plan. They were like, okay, we're going to do whatever, 5 seasons. Yeah. And like, there's parts that happen in the first season that like link up to the fifth. Like it's just, it's so good. Like the writers of that show, I applaud you because it's amazing. And, again, another show that gets you thinking and it's an American show and it's amazing. So,
Yes, it's amazing. I'm sure so many people have seen it.
100%.
So I know you loved Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I did not ever watch Game of Thrones. So I feel like when you started talking about how Breaking Bad didn't like overdo it, do you feel like Game of Thrones? I've heard stories that the ending was not very good.
Well, this is the thing, is the thing that really pissed me off the most about Game of Thrones, and I'm probably going to put a spoiler in here, but I don't care.
Yeah,
because,
okay,
it's over,
I have never seen it, and I'm probably never going to watch it. And so this is for you Game of Thrones people.
Exactly.
Go, Daniel.
So my biggest thing, and jump in if you guys feel that this is very incorrect or whatever, but the thing that really irked me is the fact, so I really loved Daenerys. So she was like the mother of dragons, breaker of chains, all of this stuff. So she had a very interesting, for the first 7 seasons, she had this like amazing character arc, right? So like you had this build up from season 1, from when you very first watched it, and you saw her become this like amazing leader in a time where it was like obviously the medieval ages, right? So it's like, a lot of the leaders were like ruthless and killed people all the time. And she was like quite compassionate. And there's a really good scene that they like foreshadow later on where I think it's like season 3 or something. She like went up to these slaves that were like chained to this thing and she like gave him some water. And she talked to her like counsel or whatever. And they were like, she was saying about how when she goes to war, she doesn't want innocent people to die. And like, people that, she's going to burn her and kill her opposing armies, but not the actual like innocent people. And then fast forward to season 8, where you have her change all of a sudden, like so quickly from being this like heroic person that you really look up to, that was like super passionate, to becoming crazy in like the space of one episode, and like burning a city of women and children. Yeah, it was crazy. Like maybe people will argue that like it was a build up throughout a few episodes of season 8, but like up until season 8, we didn't have that much of a like idea that this was going to happen. It wasn't like her character slowly, you could see the character arc like crumbling, you know? It was like all of a sudden she just like burned all of these innocent people and children, and it was just unnecessary. Like, you know what I mean?
I heard it was a mess.
It was
that
so
sounds
bad.
Like a mess.
And the thing is, too, is like her army had stormed like the main place. I can't remember King's Landing. That's what it's called, where we went to in Dubrovnik. That's what the like King's Landing looked like. Anyway, so they stormed it, and she had won. Like the opposing side was like ringing the bells to like surrender and everything. And then all of a sudden, she just went crazy, was on her dragon, got up, and then just started burning innocent people. So I was like, it made no sense.
I just didn't like a bunch of like, you know, different writers write that last bit. Isn't that why it like fucked up? That makes me so mad. And I didn't even watch the show.
I know there's so many things. It wasn't just her story arc. It was like a bunch of other ones too. Like, for example, like Jon Snow, who's quite an impactful character that a lot of people talk about. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think he was sent back up to the wall, like to be like I can't remember what the word is, but and then all of a sudden they were like just randomly selecting people to be king. And all of a sudden Bran, who was like this kid in a wheelchair, that's like, it just felt really like
mess.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was just kind of like, what's going on? And the reason it felt like such a mess is because all of the seasons up until that point were like really well done. And there was like parts of seasons within seasons. And like, you just felt like, oh my God, there was some amazing moments in Game of Thrones. And then for it to all like just be, I'm very passionate about season 8 and how much I hated it. Like, Crumble. I mean, not hated it, but like really didn't like it. I mean, it just, it wasn't great.
That's so, you know, I feel like there are so many shows like that where it's like, you know, it's so good and people get so invested and, you know, they get really into it, and then the ending just is ruined, or they stretch it out for way too long or something like that. Like, there's so many shows like that.
I think this happens with a lot of shows, like especially when shows become super successful, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the difficulty with TV shows is you might go in with an initial pitch or an idea, right? And then you'll have like, maybe you have the first or second season written out, but then you have to take time to think, okay, if we're get it renewed, do we waste time or like work on the next seasons and everything else? But I do think once shows become super successful, that quite often they'll continue on longer than they need to. Like there could be a finale like much sooner than when they do it. And I think like one of the good things about Netflix though is I have noticed there's a lot of like shorter series or like, you know, certain shows, like for example, The Sinner, that was another really good show on Netflix. And it was the first season of The Sinner was one story, and it just had 8 episodes, and it was just that story. So you have a beginning, middle, end, finish. You're done. So you know after the 8 episodes, you get your kind of like full story arc. And I don't know. I just feel like so many TV shows continue for much longer than they should.
For example, How I Met Your Mother.
Oh God.
Have you seen it?
No, I never watched that show, to be honest.
I mean, have you seen me rant about it?
I have, I mean, I remember for the longest time, you're always like, oh my God, I can't believe you don't watch How I Met Your Mother, Daniel. It's the best show ever.
Okay, I used to love, so here's the thing. I'll always be a Friends fan, and I will always forever be a Friends fan versus How I Met Your Mother, okay?
Of course,
But I did love How I Met Your Mother, especially in the first few seasons. I thought it was hilarious. I loved their take on, you know, kind of like it was a little bit more of a modern version of Friends. So they had a lot of like, you know, nuances that you would understand in this like modern day and age, whatever. Anyways, thought it was really funny. But then as the seasons progressed, I felt that it was just getting like less and less funny. And it was just like kind of, you know, when like something feels forced, like the comedy just felt forced. And I just like did not like, there were some episodes I enjoyed, but slowly I just thought it was a bit cringy and it was just getting worse and worse. So I kind of stopped watching it after the first few seasons. And then And then I think like couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I decided for some reason to finish watching it. So I started watching it again and I finished watching it. And I remember as I was starting to finish watching it, I texted our friend Christelle and I was like, should I finish How I Met Your Mother? Even though like everyone told me that the ending was so bad. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking finish this shit because I started it. And the ending, you guys, if you've seen it, you probably like, I feel like most people would agree with this sentiment that it was one of the worst endings I've ever seen for a show. Like it was just so bad. It was so forced. It was like it was a similar situation where it just felt completely out of the blue. Like I'll just say it. So basically the whole time. So the first episode of How I Met Your Mother is like Ted, like, you know, the premise, right? It's basically like Ted, the main guy, telling his kids like the story of how he met their mother. So in the beginning, so it's like, it's kind of a pretty smart story. So it's like him in the future with his kids sitting on the couch and he's like, I'm going to tell you the story of how I met your mother. And then it like goes back in time. And then the first episode, he meets this girl named Robin, who he eventually ends up dating for a little bit, but they end up being friends and she's part of the friend circle for the whole time. But they were dating for a while, broke up a few times. And eventually she starts dating Barney, who is like his friend. Anyways. At the end, the last fucking season, they build up this whole fucking season to be Robin and Barney's wedding. So Robin and Barney are about to get married. Yeah. They literally spend the entire season on the fucking wedding. And then in the last episode, it's like, oh, Robin and Barney are now getting a divorce. And then all of a sudden, Ted's wife gets cancer or some kind of fucking illness, dies. And then by the end, Ted is old and he's like, oh yeah, so that's how I met your mother. And then the kids are like, oh, Dad, I know why you're telling us this story. It's because you want our permission to go get Aunt Robin. So he goes and like gets and then him and Robin get together when they're like old. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so fucking mad.
You were like, this is so pointless.
It made no sense. And again, it like ignored all of the character development that happened. I think the show ran for like 8 seasons. So there was a lot of character development, a lot of changes, and it just completely ignored all of those things. Yeah. You know why? Because they've pre-filmed, because they were filming it as if the guy was telling just one long story. So they pre-filmed the parts where the kids were in it because they didn't want the kids to grow up, right? So they already had in their minds the ending. Yeah. So they already kind of like decided on the ending before it actually ended without realizing that, actually throughout 8 years, you might want to change some things because.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it basically went from, like you fell in love with Robin, but actually you guys completely became different people. But apparently 40 years later or 30 years later, you guys are, in love again. Fuck.
It don't make no sense.
It's so fucking stupid. Anyways, so that's my little rant. And now it has been over an hour since we've started talking.
Oh, has it? Oh my God. God, it's gone by so fast.
I know. It's like I could talk to you forever, Daniel.
Oh, God damn.
All right, you guys. So that was our little impromptu episode and discussion of movies and the Oscars. Yeah. That was fun.
I know. I love it. I mean, it's just, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the film did so well, Parasite, and and again, that it was a foreign film and obviously from South Korea, where my best friend's from.
Oh, God damn.
Oh, God
I'll be a proud Korean.
You is. Feeding me all the delicious Korean food when I'm in Calgary.
When are you coming back, Daniel? I'm going to pressure you every episode.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, I'm on the verge of booking my flight. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to come back July 8th. That's like the July 8th or 9th. That's kind of like the ballpark. Because flights weren't too expensive then. So
I'm excited. Yeah. I can't wait for you to come back.
Yeah. God damn. I'll be scared.
But I need to visit you before you leave.
Oh, yeah, you definitely do. Honestly. Well, I was thinking about doing, there's 2 things that could happen. So the best time to visit me would be, I don't know if June works for you.
I could probably make it work.
Yeah, because I have the whole month of June off. So I literally have the whole month off. I'll be in Spain for that month. I'll definitely make it work,
Daniel.
Yeah, goddamn. And either we could, if you want to come here, or I could meet you somewhere else in Spain, or whatever.
We could do both.
Yeah. because like flights from here to Majorca are quite cheap. And I thought it would be nice to like I don't know if you'd want to do this, but like, I was thinking of like renting a bike or something and going around Majorca.
Is that an island?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bike.
It's like an island in the Mediterranean.
Like a bicycle?
Like a bicycle.
Oh, goddamn, Daniels, you'll be a daredevil.
No, it won't be. It's not that hard of a route. I mean, it's a lot of hills, but like.
Oh my God. I'm not a very good bike rider, but I can try.
Yeah. I mean, we could take it as it went. And if it was really scary and stressful, we could just not do it. And then just
I'm down for Mallorca. That sounds amazing.
It's supposed to be, look up some pictures. It looks really pretty. And like around the time I was looking in June, like it's like, I think flights were like maybe 40, 50 euros return.
Oh my God. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm definitely going to visit you.
Yeah,
I put it on my list.
Okay, awesome. What I could do too is like just thinking about the logistics. Probably it'll be easier for you to fly from Calgary to like Madrid or something. So I could meet you in Madrid. We could do a couple days in Madrid.
Yes.
Then we could
experience
come down to
the Madrid nightlife. I heard it's great.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Then we could come down to where I'm staying and spend a few days here.
Yes.
Just to like see where I've been living, and we could go to the beach because I'm really I say close, but like. It's a bus ride away, but it's like super nice, the beach here. So we could do that.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
we could fly to Majorca. God damn.
God damn. Yes, guys. I think I'm going to have to go to Spain in June. I have to visit Daniels.
And then if you bring your stuff, we can record while you're here.
Oh my God. That would be so fun.
Yeah. And we should totally do it. So that it's much easier with two,
Yes. It'll be it'll be a much more natural flow of conversation when you're not being cut off by technology every 2 minutes.
I know. That's what's frustrating. And like, just a shout out to all of the listeners. Like if it does, like Rose already kind of gave a warning before, but like it is quite difficult because we're Skyping so we can see each other, but like sometimes the voice is
freezes.
cut out. Yeah. And sometimes your voice keeps going, but your face is frozen. So I don't know when you're going to stop. And like, it's quite difficult, but we're making it work. We're making it work.
Yeah. Like, so for example, sometimes you'll be talking and then it'll stop. Like I can't hear the audio. So I have to just kind of like fill in the gaps because I don't want to be stopping you every 2 minutes. So anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
Are we finished?
That's true. Okay. We are done.
Do we want a vegan nugget today? What's our vegan nugget?
Oh gosh. Well,
listen to Joaquin Phoenix. That is my vegan nugget.
Mic drop.
Well, here's the thing.
Rose.
Did you know that Joaquin Phoenix is the narrator for the film Earthlings?
I did not, which I still haven't seen.
Which you need to watch, Daniel.
I know. I'm just scared.
Daniel, you need to do it. It's part of your vegan journey.
This is true. Well, you can make me when I get to Calgary. You're not a vegan until
you've seen that film. I will. Okay, you know what? We'll do like a horrific vegan film
festival.
What do you call it? Yes. You know,
at
actually okay, yes, we can do it at my house. And yes, there's also a film that I haven't watched. It's called it's the newer I can't remember, Dominion, I think.
Okay.
And it's the newer kind of Earthlings, apparently. Apparently I have to watch that as well. But on Thursday, I'm actually watching a film, I think it's by Joaquin Phoenix as well, and it's called Animal People. Is it? Hold on. Anyway, I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, you'll have to fill us in next time we catch up in a week or so.
Oh goddamn! I'll be on my trip.
I know you'd be away at a surprise location.
I'll be away, so I don't know. We might have to talk after I come back.
That's true.
Or maybe I will bring my mic, so we might be able to get in. Yeah, we'll be able to get in probably at least one recording while I'm there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes.
So we had the vegan nugget. So watch Joaquin Phoenix's acceptance speech. So definitely do that. So Rose, do you want to kind of sign off and say goodbye to our listeners?
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening. As always, we're here for you on your commute, when you're walking your dog, whenever you're bored. Just listen to us. Tell your friends, tell your family. We are also on your favorite podcast listening platforms, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, whatever. We're also on YouTube. It's the youtube.com/the SaVeg podcast. I believe that is our URL. I'm not sure. I may have gotten that wrong. And if you want to check us out on Patreon and get extra episodes, bonus episodes, at least one bonus episode per month, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
That's perfect. And I will say aloha to you, Rose, and aloha to our listeners.
Oh, aloha. Aloha, guys. All right.